Hi YouTube, this is your girl Chi Chi. This is my new channel. Thank you and welcome, welcome, welcome. I wanted to go ahead and start this new channel because I have a lot of topics and a lot of things on my mind that I want to share with you guys. And I also would like any questions or anything that you'd like to hear about. Ask me a few questions so that I can put some videos out there to give you my opinion and to help as many people as we can. Well, again, this is my new channel. It's called Get the Tea with the Chi. I'm Chi Chi, of course. So let's get right into it. If you've been watching the TV lately, the news, it's all over the place. Reading the newspaper, what have you. We know about our girl, Paula Deen. Paula. I love me some Paula Deen. I'm sorry. I don't know about anybody else, but I think she's the most beautiful. She's such a beautiful lady. Her hair is always flawless, and it's just a beautiful color. And she just has this beautiful personality. When you see her on television, it's like you just want to run up and hug her. She's like your grandmother, you know. I would love to have had her as one of my grandmothers. But you know, she's gotten into a little bit of trouble, and it's unfortunate. It really, really is. It's really, really unfortunate. As we know, she has two sons, and her sons are also in the business with her. And you know, they basically helped her build the business. You know, when they were little boys, she used to send them to different area businesses with sandwiches and, you know, different foods that she cooked and prepared to sell. You know, they, of course, reluctantly, they didn't want to do it, but you know, Mama said you got to do it. We got to eat, and you know, you want to eat, you better go to work. So that's what they did. And I mean, she built an empire. I mean, a huge empire. Have you seen her home, her house? Oh my God. She, you know, even invited Oprah and Gail to spend the weekend with her, and they showed, you know, her estate. And I mean, it is gorgeous. So, you know, she's did a lot, and she's paid her dues to get where she is. The problem is, you know, sometimes when you're climbing the ladder of success, people forget when you own a business, when you're actually in the business world, you have to watch what you do and what you say all the time. Not just sometimes, all the time. If you're in your own home, sometimes you have to watch the people in your home, unfortunately. But you know, and in most cases, you know, you have to be careful when you're in business, because once you become a business owner, and even if you're not the owner of a business, if you're in that business, you're working there, and you're saying things or allowing things to be said, you know, and everyone's laughing at it, you know, 9 times out of 10, somebody's not laughing. Or if they are, it's a fake laugh, and what they're doing is setting you up for the kill, okay? So what happens is, one of the restaurants that she owns with her brother, what's her brother's name? Bobby Ayers. They own a restaurant together. It's called Uncle Bubba's Oyster and Shrimp House. Well, a former employee of theirs, her name is Lisa Jackson, she actually filed a lawsuit, you know, for discrimination and sexual harassment. So allegedly, well, not even allegedly, it's been admitted that some racial slurs had been used in the workplace, and Lisa allegedly states that she was forced to watch pornography in the restaurant. I mean, you know, and you know, different racial slurs were being used at the workplace or what have you, and being called names and things of that nature. And she's filed a lawsuit, and unfortunately, things were being allowed in and around the restaurant, you know, and Miss Dean herself has admitted that she's used, you know, the N-word on occasion, you know, not often, but on occasion, and now it's come back to bite her, unfortunately. You know, it is sad that this has happened, but if you say something about somebody, you know, you just have to watch who you're saying things in front of. You shouldn't say anything racial against anybody in the first place, but you know, I think everyone in the world is guilty of saying something or other once or twice, whether it be road rage when somebody's cutting you off and you're like, you such and such, or you know, when, you know, just things happen, and you know, I think people just use racial epithets all the time. And unfortunately, our girl Paula Deen is going to suffer from this, because now the Food Network has dropped her. Bing! They've dropped her from their programming. And she had like 3 different shows. I mean, she's been so successful. Like I said, she and her sons built the business together. Her sons even have shows on the Food Network. So they're dropping her, and she's been on the Food Network channel for 14 years. I mean, that's longevity. And I can just imagine what's going through her mind right now. I mean, she did come out and she did 3 apology videos, which a couple of them have been taken down. One's still up. I viewed it yesterday, but she's trying to apologize for what was said, and the context in which she said, the verbiage and use of words that she used. But of course, the damage has already been done because someone has filed suit in regards to that. Now, I was reading some information, and I also viewed a couple of videotapes. I'm going to put the link in the description box, so be sure to watch it, where in one of the videos she refers to one of her friends or employees or what have you that she's known over 18 years, as she said, he's black as a board. It's a joke. It was funny. It was. And he came up and she's like, we can't see you for behind that black board. I mean, she makes fun of his color, but they're friends, so that's something that he probably accepts from her. But other African Americans or other nationalities or different people, period, may not find that funny because that relationship is not theirs. That's the relationship she has with her and the gentleman. But she did, make that reference when she called him up to the stage. His name is Hollis. So when she calls him up, he comes on up there, and she makes the joke, and and you can tell that the reporter, she was with the New York Times. You could tell that she was kind of uncomfortable with it when Miss Deen made the comment. And I mean, like I said, I'm going to put the link, put the link there for you to view it later on. Now, again, the lawsuit is for sexual harassment, racial discrimination. Now, the first, guess what? Of all people, the first people to report this misfortune was the Inquirer, the National Enquirer. Okay, can you believe that? Now, it was confirmed by the Huffington Post that Ms. Deen was deposed. She had a deposition last month in regards to the lawsuit, and she did admit that she had used the N-word, on different occasions, but in a good way. Also, she was quoted in regards to her brothers getting ready to get married. She basically admitted that she did want him to have a southern style wedding where they would have an all black wait staff wearing the white coat and the bow ties or what have you, to resemble when slaves actually were serving the masters during their different cotillions and different gatherings and balls and parties of that nature. So she was quoted as saying that it would be a real southern wedding, a southern occasion. So I just want to say that sometimes people don't, well, I can't say people don't know that they're racist, or people don't know, well, I don't think she's racist. I just think that her growing up in the South, she witnessed a lot of things, for her age. And also, she had just found out as well that her great-great-grandfather owned property and was rich well before his time, and he owned 35 slaves. And she didn't know. She said she didn't know that that anyone in her family owned slaves. But she found out he became quite rich, basically off slave labor, as well as a lot of families have. One of the things I think a lot of people, I've heard different opinions of, she just said this, it was just a joke, blah, 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 blah. But you got to realize, if it doesn't happen to you, or if it hasn't happened to someone in your family, sometimes you can't feel the heat or feel the pain of what other people are feeling. And I know, as far as in my family, I do have some ancestors that were, of course, were in the slave trade. But the thing is, you never know how deep the wounds are if it hasn't happened to you. Also, what you got to look at as well as with society today, you look at the Jewish population. They have their reparations, where they're allowed to do certain things, or certain things that they're allowed a certain monetary value of certain things. You know, you have the Seminole Indians. I live here in Florida, so of course we know there's huge casinos and different amounts of funds that the Seminoles that we do receive every month. But African Americans are pretty much the only race that has not ever received reparations for being enslaved and basically being taken away, ripped away from their family, their kids, having their children sold, their wives sold, raped, molested, forced to bear children by other men, you know, family being torn apart at a moment's notice, just different things, you know, and then this entire country being built, you know, pretty much, you know, from free labor. So there are a lot of families today that are well-to-do, that are rich, because of something that their ancestors did to someone else's ancestor. So that's why that's why I think, you know, in this world, in this country, we will always unfortunately have some form of resentment or some form of racism out there that we don't particularly care for, but because people's mentalities are different, people are raised differently. You know, we still have people teaching their children to hate, which is terrible. I wish something could be done about that. I wish it could be a law that if you're teaching your kid or your children or your family to be racist or to hate others, that you be fined or something happen to you, you know, legally, so that we can try to, you know, put a stop to all of this madness and all this mess. But I mean, as for right now, like I said, I don't think that Paula Deen is racist. I just think that she got caught up in a moment, having fun with her employees. One person said something, if somebody said a joke, she may have laughed and repeated the joke, but again, it wasn't funny, because now it has cost her her career. And even though I know she's rich now, she's wealthy, it's just that, you know, she's at the top of her game, and no one wants to be put down when they're at the top of their game. You want to basically exit the game, you know, under your own terms. But, you know, I just feel like, again, it's very unfortunate, and I think the only way that all of this can be cleared up or any healing is going to begin, I bet that, you know, I bet between now and the next 60 days, only one person is going to be able to kind of help society start that healing process or that forgiving process, and you know who it is, our girl Oprah. You know, she and Paula Deen are pretty close already. So who else to help her, you know, find that spot of healing and trying to really explain herself what has actually transpired. The only reason it wouldn't happen between now and the next 60 days is because they're, you know, in litigation. But if she's able to speak on it, or whatever she is, it gets clear from her attorney, I'm sure Oprah Winfrey is going to have that exclusive. No one else should have that exclusive but Oprah. And I'm sure that after Paula kind of explains some things, and, you know, Oprah, you know, in her way of questioning and helping to smooth things over, it'll all be forgotten and forgiven. Like I said, we all in life have said something or other that we've regretted, and some people have gotten caught and some people haven't. And one thing that people just need to realize, when you're in the limelight, when you're in the workplace or around people, you have to be careful about what you say and what you do. What do you think? What do you think about this scenario, this situation? How do you feel about it? Drop some questions or some comments and let me know. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe. This is my new channel, and I have some other good things coming towards you out here. And I will be doing some giveaways in the future, so make sure you stay tuned to what the rules are for the giveaways. And don't forget to check out my other channel for those of you who have kids and want to learn how to teach your children to read and count and all those other good things. My other channel is called Helping You Teach. It's at the bottom. But if you just go to the top right hand corner, you can just click on my other channel and you can start viewing that as well. And don't forget to subscribe to that channel as well. Alright, thanks. This is your girl Chi Chi signing out on Get the Tea with the Chi, and see you next time. Peace.